ሄ ጋይስ ታጀው ጸጋ ነኝ ከሪለርን ዩቲዩብ ቻናል። በዚህ ቻናል ላይ የተለያዩ ኮምፒውተር ሳይንስ ኤንድ ሪሌትድ የሆኑ ኮርሶችን በማዘጋጀት በአማርኛና በእንግሊዝኛ የሚያቀርብላችሁ ይሆናል። ስለዚህ ቻናሉን ሳብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን ትችላላችሁ። እንዲሁም ለጓደኞቻችሁ ሼር በማድረግ እንዲማሩ ማድረግ ትችላላችሁ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የዛሬውን ቶፒካችን እንጀምራለን ማለት ነው።
Access control list is one of the major security mechanism in order to filter packets while using internet. So in access control list, there are two main types of methods are there. The first one numbered ACL, as we have seen in the previous video. Under the categories of numbered ACL, so there are two types also. The first one is standard ACL and the other one is extended ACL. So today we will discuss about how we are going to apply named ACL using standard as well as using extended ACL. So a relearn YouTube channel no, so ይህን ቻናል ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ተከታታይ ቪዲዮዎችን ማግኘት ትችላላችሁ። ቪዲዮውን ከወደዳችሁ ሰብስክራይብ፣ ላይክ፣ ሼር በማድረግ የዩቲዩብ ቻናሉ ቤተሰብ መሆን ትችላላችሁ። So today we will see how we are going to apply a named ACL. So access control list is perform packet filtering to control the movement of packets through a network. For example, when we are using internet, so we can control our communications. We can control unauthorized users by giving permissions, by applying permissions, either deny permission or just permit users. So when you have to apply deny, so users they cannot use that service. When you have give a permission, then they can use that specific service as well as the overall services. So access control list must be identified by name or number. So means there are two common types. The first one is named ACL and the other one is what? A numbered ACL. So when you come to the named ACL, it is what? Named ACL are defined as standard or extended ACL, not use a number. In the case of named ACL, we cannot use numbers, either 1 up to 99 in the case of standard, or 100 to 199 in the case of extended. So in this case, no need to use what? Numbers. Just we can define name, any name as what? As identification of either standard or extended ACL. So the main advantage of in the case of named ACL, so no limitation of numbers, because for example in the case of standards we can give 1 up to 99. What about after that? After 199, if you have assigned all numbers, so there will be limitations. Or in the case of standard ACL, if you have assigned all those numbers between 100 up to 99, so there will be limitations beyond that numbers, beyond these numbers. So there is limitations. But in this case, in the case of named ACL, no number limitations, because so we can define any name, whatever you want, then you can define as any name. So the another advantage of in the case of named ACL, so named ACL is we can apply editing, means we can add a specific permission, either deny or permit, or we can remove that specific users or specific IP addresses. So in this case, so editing is possible than the numbered ACL. So those are the main advantages in the case of named ACL. So the another point is named ACL configuration. How we are going to configure the named ACL? It's a bit different than numbered ACL. So in the case of numbered ACL, just we can define on the configuration mode access list, then number. But in this case, as a bit difference, first we have to write IP, then access list, Then we have two options, either standard or extended. So we have to select one of them. If you want to select standard, or you can select standard, or if you want to use extended, so you can use extended. Then after that, we have to define name, any name. For example, admin or Cisco or CCNA or CNAP or whatever you want. Then you can define over here. Then after that, then we have to, for example, if you have applied standard ACL basic commands, then we can start on the configuration mode. So when you have to apply, then it will be changed. Then on that configuration, then you have to define either deny or permit, then source IP. For example, in the case of standard, then source IP, then wildcard mask of that as source IP. So no need to define destination IP, because the standard DCL is selecting packets based on the source IP. So it's depend on source IPs, and we can block users. And in the case of extended ACL, then we have to apply in permit, then protocol, either UTP, TCP, or UDP, or ICMP, then whatever you want, then you can define over here. Then source IP, then source wildcard mask, then destination IP, then destination source wildcard mark, then operator is equal to, not equal to, or greater than, whatever. Then service, specific service, for example, HTTP or FTP or DNS, or depend on the protocols, then we can apply any server, whatever you want. Then the implementation, then we have to define the interface name. Then on that interface name, inside that interface name, then we have to define access group, then name, then inbound or outbound. So in this case, then you can just permit users also the entire network. Then you can define over here, or over here. So then we will see when we have to configure uh, this named ACL. So this is all the introduction and the configuration basics about the named ACL in standard or in extended ACL. So after this, then we have to configure the extended ACL. So we have this topology. So already IP address has been assigned for all in devices, for all routers, and for all servers. So uh, this is our server area. So we have web server, we have FTP server, and we have DNS server, and those are users. For example, from this user, so how we can access those servers. First, let us try to access them before applying the ACL. Okay, so for example, we can check it. The server IP is what, 172.16.0.2. So we can check it. Ping 172.160.0.2. So it's working. What about uh, web server? Just using browsers. So 172.16.0.2. So this is also working. Uh, what about FTP server? This FTP server, for example, FTP, and then 172.16.0.3, username FTP, and password 1345. Okay, so this FTP also is working. Okay, so uh, the others also, we can, for example, from this we can check it. For example, ping 172.16.0.4, the DNS server IP address. So all are working. So we have reply from this to this, and we have reply from this to this also. So now we can apply the named ACL. Okay, so first, then we can apply standard ACL. Let us assume this is guest users, and those are are staff users. So guest users, they should be use only internet, so they cannot ping the inside users or local users, because there will be sensitive information on the local users. So the guest user should access only internet, so no need to ping or no need to contact with uh, these staff users using the ping. So these guest users should be use internet. They cannot use the FTP server, they cannot use DNS server, so they can use only web server. So through web server, so they can do whatever they want. So now we have to apply standard DSL first. So we have to go to on this router. Okay, so then we have to apply the extend DSL. Okay, so enable, then config. Okay, so what we can do here, then IP, then access list. So when you have to check it, then we have two options: so to extend the standard. So in this case, then we have to use a standard. Then what about the next command? So we have to use, in the case of name DCL, so we need to apply only name. So for example, we can say Cisco. So this is our name. Okay, so here we have a deny or permit option, deny. What the IP address of this user? So okay, so this is a 30.3. Okay, not 30.3. We have to check this IP address first. Yeah. So okay, so 192.68.10.2. I think it's two. I think it's two. We can check it. Okay, it's two. Okay, and then IP address, so .0.0.0, then enter. Then the another one, for example, what about, okay, so IP, okay, permit, okay, permit, then permit, next command, it's any, permit any, or yeah, okay, so here, uh, for example, we can check it, show IP access list. So look, we have 10 here, and we have, this is sequence number, so sequence number. So the other users, they have their own permit, uh, and they can like use that sources, so they can communicate with that destinations. Okay, so the another one, so if you want to insert, if you want to add for example 12, so you can add inside between 10 and 20 in this context. For example, confetti, so IP, then access list, then standard, then Cisco. Okay, then for example deny, for example IP address in this context, if you have like 192.168 10.2, or here you can mention sequence number, for example 12. Then for example host, then 2, no 2, 3. Okay, host, for example 3. Then int, for example, sorry, int look, so inserted between 20 and 10. So what if you want to delete this specific one, so you can delete it also. For example, confetti, okay, then no 12, so 12 is deleted in that. Then look, so in this case what, in the case of named ACL, editing is possible. Editing is possible, not possible in the numbered ACL. But in the case of named ACL, editing is possible. Means removing is possible, adding is possible. So we can do whatever you want. Depend on your context, you can do whatever you want. So in this case, editing is possible. So when we have to apply standard, so there is no communication between this source and this destination. For example, so we can check here. So for example, ping 192.68.30.2, I think. So let's check. Okay, this is one. Actually, we didn't apply implementation. So here we can go to config first, then int, then we have to check this. Okay, gi0/0, gi0/0, and then IP access group, then Cisco, then outbound. Okay, done. Okay, so there is no communication between this source and all those destinations. Okay, now we can try it. Look, destination is unreachable. Because okay, destination is unreachable. Okay, and so we can check here. We can check also the web server, means using browser 192.68.30.2, for example. Look, there is no communication between them. So in this case, in the case of standard, as we have seen in the previous video, if you have applied standard, so there is no communication at all. It means there is no ping, there is no via browsers, and there is no FTP. So there is no communication at all. So if you have applied standard ACL, then you have to block all services in the case of standard ACL. So when you have to apply extend ACL, so when you have to apply extend ACL, so you have to specify the sources. If you want to block HTTP server, that means web server, then you have to apply that specific. Or if you want to block FTP, then you can block FTP server. So we can specify uh, the sources. Okay, now uh, what about the extended ACL? So now we have to block all the sources. For example, in this context, then we have to block only FTP server and DNS server, but they can use web server. So this guest user, he can use what? He can use, for example, if it is a guest, if it is guest user, so guest user can use only internet, not access the FTP server, not access DNS server, or they cannot communicate with those internal users. So now we have to apply on this user or on this router. Okay, so enable, then config. Okay, so okay, so now what we have to do, IP access list, then extended, then for example admin, our name is admin. Okay, then deny, then this context, then we have to mention what? We have to mention protocols, for example TCP. Okay, so then after that, then we have to mention source IP. So what is our source IP? 2. Okay, So for example, host 192.168.10.2, so no need to mention subnet mask wildcard name because we have used host here. Then destination. Our destination IP is what? Destination. For example, this FTP server IP 16.3. Okay. Then what we have to do again, host 172.60.0.2. Here we have to mention equal to operator equal to next FTP 21, or you can use just FTP, or you can use 21 port number, or just you can use that FTP. Okay, the another one, then we can also look at DNS server. Okay, so our source is what? This will be 3, not 3, I think 4. Oh, I think we did mistake. This is 3, this is 2. Okay, then we can do it. Okay, let's do it. This will be say FTP. FTP will be 3, and also DNS will be DNS means 53. This will be 4. Okay, and then permit IP any. Okay, so this will be working. Then we have to apply implementation, so we have to check this interface name. Okay, this is GI0/0. Okay, then we have to exit. Then int GI0/0, then IP, access a group, an admin, then outbound. Okay, now let's try to check it ping first. Ping our web server. For example, ping 172.60.0.2. So ping is working. What about web servers? It's using HTTP 172.60.0.2. It's working also. Okay. What about the FTP server? Let's try FTP server. FTP 172.60.0.3. So this is not working, as you have seen from this. This is not working because we have blocked to use the FTP server, so we cannot use FTP server. Okay, so with the help of this, we can block the FTP server. Let's try to ping DNS server 172.60.3.4. Dot 4 is working. 72. Yeah, because we have applied DNS, but we didn't apply what? We didn't apply the ICMP, means ping or UDP or ping. For example, so we can check here. For example, what you have to do, exit, then IP access group, then admin, first extended, then admin. Okay, so here deny, and then for example UDP, then source IP 192.168.10.2 then source 172.60.3.4 then 0.0.0.0 then equal for example UDP. Let's try to use ICMP. Okay, equal. Let's try to use UDP. Okay, equal. Here ICMP is not defined here. For example, let's try to change ICMP this one. ICMP. I think there is no operator here. Yeah, there is no operator. I need to use operator. For example, echo. Echo means ping. Okay. Then permit IP any implementation already done. So let's try to ping this one again. Let's then int gi 0/0, then again IP access to, then admin, then outbound. Okay, then int show IP access list. So we have table matches. For example, echo means ping. Let's try to ping this one. Okay, what is the IP address of this one? Okay, so with the help of this one, so we can block users. So we can, what about this one? So with the help of, from this staff user, so for example, they can ping the web server 192.168.10.72.16.0.2. So this is working. Look, this is working. What about FTP server? FTP 172.60.0.3. So for FTP, then 1345. So this is also working. So staff users, so they can access the users from this one also 72.60.0.4. So okay, ping. Okay, so this is also working, but from this one, so it cannot working. Look, it's not working. Okay, so this is all about the named ACL using standard or extended ACL. So if you like this video, please subscribe and share for your friends. Then it will be helpful for me to prepare for the next videos and to come up with a new topics. So next we will see another point. Then next we'll see another point. Still next presentation. Stay connected and bye bye.